Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another Inside Pitch 1975 NBC Game of the Week. Had a little snafu when I was getting started, so the first notice I had did not work well. Somehow the thing got reset, so I had to redo it again. So hopefully we are back in good shape. Pitching matchup for today's game from Oakland Coliseum. It is Dennis Eckersley for the Indians and Ken Holtzman, the lefty, for the Oakland A's. There you see the starting lineups and the benches and bullpens for both teams. I have my little cheat sheet here that make sure, yep, it shows up on camera. Little cheat sheet here that shows the arm ratings and base running advancement. So you don't have to do that kind of stuff in advance. You can, or as the game goes, you can have it in advance and be all done with it. Hello, DJ and Doug. Sorry about the little snafu I had in the beginning, where I thought I was on ready to go, and then the thing reset on me, so I had to start all over again. Okay, so like I said, Eckersley against Holtzman is the matchup. Got Oakland A's colored dice, and we should be ready to go here very shortly. Next Saturday, we will be from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. It'll be the Kansas City Royals taking on the Baltimore Orioles. That'll be next Saturday's game. Of course, tomorrow night, it'll be the 1993 Sunday night ESPN game, and that will be the Montreal Expos hosting the Chicago Cubs. And then on Monday, I will be putting up the next game in the Yankee payoff pitch replay against the Kansas City Royals. So I'm going to have back-to-back next 3 days. This one live, the other two are going to be pre-recorded. Hello, Kenyon. Tim, how you doing? All right, so it looks like if I'm looking at my computer screen, it looks like everything is showing up okay. Let's see, I might even be able to get a little closer. I don't know. Yeah, it's the best I've got on the quality, so let me see if I can. I don't know if I can get this down. I guess. Does everything look all right the way it is? I won't mess with it because I'm afraid if I mess with it, it's going to mess it up. So I may just have to go with what we got. All right, so we'll put the Oakland Coliseum over there. We'll put Ken Holtzman on the mound, finishing up his warm-up tosses. Hello, W. James Doyle. How are you doing? And we'll put Eckersley over here until his time comes up to pitch. And unlike the current day's edition of baseball, only 4 guys in the bullpen for each team. So you're not going to have this plethora of relief pitchers coming in and out of the game. Both starters can face 29 batters as long as they're effective. So could see some complete games going here. All right. Like I said, the only thing with using my Droid phone as my camera is when I go live, I can only get 720p as opposed to 1080 when I'm doing the recording, but I guess we'll live with it. Okay. Get my scorebook over here and my sheets to make sure that we're good to go. So I think we are just about all set, and Buddy Bell is going to lead it off. Strange that they would have Buddy Bell lead off the ball game. I don't picture him as a prototypical leadoff hitter, but that's what they chose for this particular game, so we'll go with it. All right, and of course this game, according to my scorebook, was played May the 31st, 1975. But it was the last Saturday in May. All right, here we go. Ken Holtzman to Buddy Bell. We get a 2-5, and that's the ballpark card. So very first at bat, we go straight to Oakland Coliseum, whatever iteration of name it was in 1975. It may have just been the Oakland Coliseum. I don't think all the advertising name changes started till much later. So we're going to the ballpark card for the very first at bat. We get a 1-6. It's a question mark 7, and that's a 12. So that says it's a triple. Right off the bat, Buddy Bell hits a triple. Wow, what a way to start the game. Oakland Coliseum, it's expansive outfield, and the outfielders had a rough time of it. That ball was split the left and center fielders, Washington and Manguel, and goes all the way to the wall for a triple to start the ball game. Starting off with a bang. Don't tell Dave Gardner. What is Dave? I'm not sure, DJ. What did I say something bad about Dave Gardner? I don't remember, but I like his channel. Him and Uncle Ron They do a nice job on their little podcast. All right, so nobody out. We're going to play the infield back because we're trying to prevent a big inning. We'll give up the 1 run and live with it. So they're going to play the infield back. Any ground ball, most likely Buddy Bell will score. Holtzman, 3-6. McCraw is a lefty, so that's a blank. It's not going to be an automatic out. 3-2, and that's a ground ball to second, and that will score Bell because they're not going to take a chance. They're going to go ahead and allow the run to score to get the out. And just like that, it's 1-0 in favor of Cleveland. But they do get the first out of the ball game. So Cleveland jumps out top 1-0. RBI ground out from Tommy McCraw. And that'll bring up George Hendrick. He's doing all this face cameras or something. This is just on my phone. I don't have a camera. This is my Android phone. I think it's an SC20. It's like I bought it like almost 2 years ago. So Hendricks the batter, 4-3. That's a wild pitch, but with nobody on, we just call it ball 1. 3-1, and that's a strikeout chance. 12. Let's see. He strikes out against a lefty at an 8. Stadium only adds 1, makes it a 9. So 12 is out of range. Against a right-hander, he would have struck out, but not against Holtzman. So Hendrick gets to swing 3-1. He's going to take advantage of it and single to left field. So George Hendrick, a 1-out single, and that brings up the manager, Frank Robinson, one of the last player managers around. Not sure, he may have been the last player manager. I'm not 100% sure on that. And now we'll get to the strategy roll. Attempt of steal of 2 for George Hendrick. And that's a 15, so nothing's happening. Infield is halfway, 4-6, and that's going back to the ballpark, Cardigans. Going back to Oakland County Stadium, or Oakland Coliseum, as it was known back then. 3-4, that is a fly to left field for out number 2. So nothing hazardous there for Holtzman. He retires Frank Robinson for out number 2. And one of my favorite characters from the 1970s Indians is Charlie Spikes, just like the name. Don't know how good a player he was, but I just like the name. So now, strategy roll for Hendrick, nothing going on. Holtzman now with 2 outs facing Spikes. 1-6 is a range play at the ballpark, so going back to Oakland Coliseum, but this time it's a range check. That's a 3-6, which is a ground ball to second, but it's a range play on Phil Garner. Phil Garner's range is a 4, so above average. So if this is a 1 through 4, Garner will make the play, and the inning will be over. If it's a 5 or a 6, it'll get through for a base hit. It's a 4, so Garner, since they were back, the infield was back, they didn't lose anything on the range, he will make the play. Had they been at double play depth, that would have gotten through for a hit. But as it is, Cleveland will take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the first, courtesy of the triple from Buddy Bell and the ground out from McCraw. And they have staked Dennis Eckersley to a 1-0 lead. And now Eckersley is on the mound. He was 13-7 with a 2.60 ERA. He did have 10 relief appearances to go along with 24 starts in the 75 season. And Campy Campaneris will be the leadoff man. Hello, John. How are you doing? Oh, you're right, John. He was, I think in 1986, he might have been a player manager. I think he was. I don't know. I think 86 or 87 he was a player manager. So I believe you are correct. He's got to be the last one that I know of. All right, here is Eckersley. 6-6, and that's a strikeout plus against a right-hander. Turn this thing off. That thing is annoying. Okay. Strikeout plus to a right-hander. Campaneris strikes out as a 10. The plus makes it a 20. And that's a 7, so well within the strikeout range. So Campaneris, even without the plus, he would have struck out. So Campaneris is out of there for out number 1. And that'll send up Sal Bando, Captain Sal. I think he passed away recently, not that long ago. Eckersley, 4-1, strikeout chance 10. He's a 9, but the stadium adds 1, makes it a 10. So, yes, that will be a strikeout. Eckersley courtesy of Oakland Coliseum, will get the strikeout of Sal Bando. And here comes Reggie. Before the Reggie bar and before Steinbrenner and everything else, Reggie. 6-6, and that's a strikeout plus to a righty, but Reggie's a lefty, so it's a blank. So Reggie will fend that off and get to swing on his own. 4-3, but he cannot take advantage of it. It's a star 6, which is a fly to right field, and Mr. Spikes will put that away to end the inning. 1-2-3 inning go the A's here in the bottom of the first. And after one complete from Oakland Coliseum, it is the Cleveland Indians 1 and the Oakland A's nothing. Coming up for the Tribe, it will be Frank Duffy, the shortstop. He'll be followed by Ken Berry and Ed Crosby. Not exactly household names, at least not to me. 4-6, and we're going back to the ballpark card again. Oakland Coliseum is getting a lot of activity. 5-1. It's a ground ball to first on this one, so easy play by Joe Rudy, who is not happy, by the way, about being at first base. He preferred to be in the outfield, but Alvin Dark says, nope, you're going to play first base. All right, here is Ken Berry. 5-4, and that's a blank, so we go to Ken Berry's card. 2-6, and he's going to hit a star line 2, which is a fly to center for out number 2, put away out there by the center fielder, Claudell Washington. A very young Claudell Washington, as a matter of fact. Here's Ed Crosby, second baseman. (6-3), and that is a hit by pitch chance. He's a 0, he's a +2, but that's a 15, so no hit by pitch. Go to Crosby. Lefty on lefty matchup, by the way, although Crosby is not rated for splits. 4-4, it's a ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning no matter how he's rated. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Mr. Holtzman. And we are back to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0. Favor of the Tribe. And coming up for the Oakland A's, it'll be the first baseman, Joe Rudy. Tutti Frutti Rudy. Again, not happy about being at first base. Hello, Chuck and Chris McLaughlin. Thank you all for spending part of your Saturday with me. Eckersley, 3-4, and that's a double question mark, which is a pitcher result. And a 1-18 is an automatic out. That's a 10, so it will be an out. Just a matter of what kind of out it is. And it's going to be a fly to left. One away. Eckersley, definitely a fly ball pitcher. All his star line outs, all his star line results are outs in the fly ball area. So no ground balls. And so, like I said, he's got a double play 0, which I'm surprised is not like -1 or something if he's that much of a fly ball pitcher, but I guess this incorporates that. Here's an aged Billy Williams in his final season, I believe, as the DH. 3-4, and that's a pitcher result again. This time against the lefties, only 1-6, so that 12 fails. So Eckersley much tougher against the righties. Billy Williams will instead get to swing. 1-5, and he's going to fly to right field for out number 2. So another fly ball out. So 3 fly ball outs and 2 strikeouts. No ground balls yet off Eckersley. And here comes Gene Tennis, the hero of the 72 series. 3-3 is a strikeout chance, and he will get him. So Eckersley, fly balls and strikeouts. That's all we've got. 6 up, 6 down, and easy times of it for the Eck. Didn't know back in 75 that he would turn out to be a important member of the late 80s Oakland A's, but as a closer no less instead of a starter. So how things change there. We go to the top of the third, still 1-0. And due up for the Indians, number 9 hitter, Mr. Alan Ashby, switch hitter. 4-4, that's a walk chance against a left-hander. He walks at a 17. Stadium adds one, makes it 18, so that 17 fits. And Alan Ashby will draw the leadoff walk. And leadoff walks can usually come back to bite you. Ashby has a 1 for an attempt. Does not hit it. So we'll go back to the top of the order for Buddy Bell, who hit that surprising triple his first time up. Infield is halfway. 5-3, and that's an automatic out against a right-hander. That is a star line, so let's see what kind of out it is. It's a 3, which is a fly to right field. Reggie Jackson puts it away. 1 down. And that'll bring up Tommy McCraw. Lefty on lefty. Strategy rolled again. 3, but nothing happening. Holtzman, 2-6 is a blank. We go to McCraw to finish the at-bat. 2-6 again. He's going to pop it to short. Campaneris calls for it. 2 down. And that'll send up George Hendrick. Center fielder. Hendrick singled his first time up. 1-4 is a possible error on a throw. So Hendrick. 3-1 is a single to left field. Now let's see if there's going to be a throw or not. Look at our chart on Oakland. Single from going from first to third. The factor is a 0 when you add the outfielder arm, Reggie Jackson. So Ashby's a 3. There are 2 outs, makes him a 4. So let's see. The 12 is not going to be an error on the left fielder. 12 is higher than the error rating of Manguel. His error rating is only, I'm sorry, no, it is not. I take it back. I looked too soon. Manguel in left field is a 13, so this will be a throwing error. This will be a throwing error. So we have to figure out whether Ashby is going to make it or not. If he makes it to third, the throwing error would send him home. If he has to hold here, then the throwing error will take him to third. So right now he is a 4. That's a 2, so Ashby's going to make it to third and then score on the throwing error, and Hendrick will take second on the throwing error. So E7 rather, single plus an E7. Shoddy defense by the A's. Shoddy defense by the A's. It's now 2-0 Cleveland. As Mr. Ashby comes in to score. And Eckersley's got to be enjoying getting these extra runs. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Here is Frank Robinson. 1-4, possible error on throw again. So it could be another error. 6-2 is against a lefty is a walk chance. Actually, it's not a walk chance. It's a straight out walk. When there's a W there is no look up. It's a straight up walk. So he walks Frank Robinson, but that might have been a blessing because could have been a throwing error that could have scored a run. So it keeps Hendrick at second base at least for Charlie Spikes. Hello, SDG. How you doing? Nothing on the strategy roll. Here's Holtzman to Spikes. 1-2 is a walk chance. 14 is going to be too high. We go to Spikes to finish. 4-6, he's going to fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. But the run scores, it is unearned, but Cleveland will take it. And we go to the bottom of the third, 2-0 Tribe over the American League East champion Oakland A's. In a bit of a surprise so far. But it's still early. We're only in the bottom of the third, so anything can happen. But to give Eckersley a 2-0 lead, he can become dangerous. Due up for the A's. Let's see here. First, let's total up everything for Cleveland. They got 1 run. It was unearned on just 1 hit. There was 1 big error and 2 walks and 2 left on base. So now we go to Oakland. Claudell Washington will lead things off against Mr. Eckersley. (3-2), and that's a strikeout chance, and he's going to get him. So Eckersley, another strikeout. That is strikeout number 4. In just 7 batters faced, he has struck out 4 of them. That'll bring up Angel Manguel. His big error brought home that run. 6-4, and that's a walk chance rather. 5. He walks at a Ford Stadium, adds 1, so it will be a walk, and that's the first base runner for the A's. It is a 1-out walk to Angel Manguel, and that'll bring up Scrap Iron Phil Garner. Manguel has an attempt of 1. Nothing happening. So we go to Phil Garner. Dennis Eckersley to Garner, infield halfway. 3-6, that's the ball. We're going back to Oakland Coliseum again. Made many trips to Oakland Coliseum in this game. 2-3, and that's a single plus to left field, so no Manuel takes third automatically. Garner may or may not get to second base safely. It was hit to left field. That's Ken Berry. He's a -1 arm. Garner is a 4, so that's an aggregate of 3. So a 3 or less, he'll stretch this to a double. 4 or 5, he holds. 6, he might be out. It's a 1, so he's going to make it. So it turns that into a double. First hit of the game by the A's, and it's coming from the bottom of the order. Phil Garner hustles his way to a double. And with 1 out, runners at second and third, here comes Campaneris. Now the Indians with a 2-0 lead will play back to prevent a big inning. And Eckersley now, strategy roll to make sure there's no pickoff or balk. And there's not. Campaneris struck out his first chance. 5-1, he might strike out again, and he did. So Campaneris out on strikes once again. That is strikeout number 5 for Mr. Eckersley. And now with 2 outs, he can get out of it by getting the captain, Sal Bando. Struck out Bando his first time up. Nothing on the strategy roll. Eckersley to Bando. 2-5, he's going to strike out chance, but 18 is too high. So Bando will get the swing, see if he can drive home the run. 2-1, he will not. He flies to left. Hauled out there by Mr. Berry, and that's going to end the inning. So for the A's, no runs on their first hit, no errors, and 2 left. And we go to the 4th. It is still 2-0 favor of Cleveland. Oakland had their chances, but Eckersley pitched around the mess. Top of the 4th we go. And due up for Cleveland, it will be Frank Duffy, the shortstop. Duffy grounded to first baseman Rudy his first chance. 5-3, and that is an automatic out against a right-hander. Got that star line, and it's going to be a ground ball to second. So Phil Garner makes the play. 1 away, and that will send us to Ken Berry. He will dance to the plate. He flew to center his first chance. 4-5, and that's a walk plus, but he's only a 3. The walk plus makes him a 13. Stadium is 14, but that's a 20, so no walk. He will not walk or dance to first. He will swing though. 3-6, he's going to single to left field, so he gets to first base after all. So Ken Berry, a 1-out single, and he's there for Ed Crosby. Attempt of 2 for Ken Berry. 3, possible hit and run, but I think we're going to hold everybody where they are. Just swing away. 3-1, strikeout chance, and he got Crosby. Struck him out. 2 down. That's the first strikeout for Holtzman. And now with 2 outs, it goes to the number 9 hitter, Alan Ashby. Berry again dancing off first base, but no jump. Holtzman to Ashby, 5-3. Ashby switch hitter batting right-handed, which means that's a star line. So Holtzman will get the out, and it will be a ground ball to short, and we'll just say Campaneris throws to first to make it simple. For the Indians, no runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the 4th still. Cleveland 2 and Oakland nothing. So due up for the A's, it will be Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, although we're far from October at this point. Jackson flew to right his first chance. 2-6, strikeout chance, 20 though is too high, so Reggie will get the swing. 5-4, he's going to ground it to second. Easy play over there for Mr. Crosby. And there's 1 away. So we got all kind of entertainment names. Barry was an actor and dancer, and Crosby, of course, the Bing Crosby family. So interesting names. Here's Joe Rudy. Eckersley, 6-1, possible error. And it's going to almost certainly be an error because that's a 2. So 1-2 is a star line 2, which is a fly to center. But again, it has to be an odd number to be an error on a fly to center. So that's not going to be an error. That's actually going to be an out. Hendrick is saved by that rule that it has to be odd number. So had struggles with it, but almost lost it in the sun, but was able to recover because that was an odd number. Had it been a 3 or a 1, it would have been an error. But with an even number, there is no fly out error. So here's Billy Williams. And we got Billy Williams, another actor's name, Billy D. Williams. How about that? All kinds of entertainment references here. 6-1, another possible error. So we'll go to Williams. And that's a 3-4, which is a ground ball to second. Crosby, his error rating at second base, he's actually a 0, so he cannot make an error. So it will be an easy, well, not easy, but it will be an out. Tough hop, but he had it no problems. 3 up, 3 down for the A's, and Eckersley has shut them down through 4. It is still 2-0. Favor of the Tribe. And we go to the top of the 5th. For the Cleveland Indians, they will have Buddy Bell, their leadoff hitter, stepping up. He tripled in the first and scored the only run, or the first run rather, and then he flied to right. 6-2, that's against a right-hander. Well, that's quite a split. Against a lefty, it's a home run check. Against a right-hander, it's a strikeout check, and he struck him out. So obviously Holtzman a little bit tougher on the righties than the lefties, as you might normally think, but yeah, those must have been the way he pitched. He might have had a reverse split somehow, because at least in that instance, he was tougher against the righties. Now, down here on the pitcher result, he's tougher against the lefties, so and home runs, he's tougher against the lefties. So I guess it just kind of sparsed out there. Here's McCraw. 6-6, another possible error. And that's a 15, so probably won't be an error. 5-6 is a ground ball to second. That's Garner. His error is a 10, but 15 is not going to fall within that. So Garner will make the tough play for out number 2. And that brings up George Hendrick. With 2 outs. Hendrick singled twice. He's 2 for 2. He had a single and an error on Manguel his last time up. 5-4, and that's a blank on Ken Holtzman. So we go to Hendrick. 4-3. This time it's a star 3, which is a fly to right field. Reggie puts it away. 1-2-3 inning for Holtzman. We go now to the bottom of the 5th, still 2-0, favor of Cleveland. And due up for the Oakland A's to try to get something going. It will be Gene Tennis, the catcher, followed by Claudel Washington and Angel Manguel. 4-2, that is a strikeout plus to a right-hander, and he is out of there. Tennis is down on strikes for the second time. So I could say he double faulted, did Mr. Tennis. Here is Claudel. 3-3, another strikeout chance. 12, though, is too high. So Claudel will get the swing. 4-1, he's going to single past second base, so he stuck it by Crosby. Second hit of the game for the Oakland A's. And he's got an attempt of 7, so he could be looking to run here. And he is. That's a 5, so he will get the jump. He's a 15. Eckersley is a +3, makes it an 18. Ashby's a 0. So 1-18, he's going to go. And he's in there. Stolen base for Claudel. Gets him in scoring position with less than 2 outs. So a dangerous move down by 2, but sometimes you got to do some things to generate some offense. Kind of force the issue. And he did that. Strategy roll, nothing happening this time. Eckersley now to Manguel. 6-3, and that's an automatic out on the star line. We know it's going to be a fly ball. The question is, where is it going to go? It's going to go to left field, so Claudel may or may not be able to move up on that. He's a 4, but to tag up, you lose 3. It makes him a 1, and then the left fielder arm, in this case, Barry's a -1. That's a 0, so he cannot move up. He has no option to. Even if he wanted to, he couldn't do it. So he'd be at a 0. So 2 down for scrap iron Phil Garner to try to get the run home. He doubled his first time up. Nothing on the strategy. 2-5, and that's a strikeout chance. 11 will get him. He's a 10 plus the 1 from the stadium. And again, Eckersley uses Oakland Coliseum to his benefit and picks up that strikeout. For Eckersley now, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts in 5 innings. For the A's, no runs a hit, no errors, and 1 left. And we go to the 6th inning, still 2-0 in favor of Cleveland. And both bullpens are pretty silent right now. Not a whole lot of activity in either one. This is 1975, not 2022 or 23, where the bullpens go crazy. Okay, so Holtzman will come out for the 6th, and he's going to be facing the designated hitter Frank Robinson to lead things off. Robinson flew to left in the 1st, walked in the 3rd. Holtzman 3-1, strikeout chance 17, though is too much. Go to Robbie. 4-4 is going to ground it right back to Ken Holtzman. Easy play, 1 away. Robinson is gone for Charlie Spikes. Charlie Spikes controlling right field in this game, and Spikes is 0 for 2. He grounded to second and flew to left. 4-2, that's a blank. We go to Spikes. 5-4, and that is a single pass shortstop. So Charlie Spikes gets his first hit of the game. And that is hit number 5 for Cleveland on the game. Brings up Frank Duffy, the shortstop. Duffy grounded out twice. Grounded to first and grounded to second. Strategy roll for Spikes. He got a 1, so he's got a chance to steal. He's got an 11. -1 from Holtzman is a 10. And tennis is a 0. It'd be a 50-50 proposition, a 1 to 10. You know what? They got a 2-0 lead playing with house money, so why not? 1 to 10. And he's thrown out. So Charlie, maybe not the best move in the world, but figured you're playing with house money, why not try it? But Phil Garner puts on the tag, and that's out number 2. Clears the bases for Frank Duffy. 3-4, that's an automatic out on a star line, and the star line will be a fly to right field. So Reggie puts it away to end the inning. So the caught stealing kind of squashes any hopes Cleveland had of doing anything. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still 2-0, as the A's can't seem to figure out Dennis Eckersley. And due up for Oakland, it will be the top of the order and Campaneris. He has struck out twice. He has not solved Mr. Eckersley at all. 1-4, it's a walk chance, but he did solve him for a walk. So leadoff walk to Campy, and you know he's looking to run. He has an attempt of 4. Can't get it. Cannot get the lead, so he'll stay put. And Captain Sal will step to the plate. Struck out in the 1st and flew to left in the 3rd. Infield is halfway. 2-6, strikeout chance. 13 was too high, so we go to Bando. 3-4, it's a ground ball back to Eckersley. Now, it used to be when it first came out that when it went back to the pitcher, you gained an extra advantage for a ground ball double play. Now you actually lose one in version 3 rules. So he's a 2, but hitting back to the pitcher drops it to a 1. They were halfway, brings it back to a 2. The pivot with a right-handed batter is going to be the second baseman, Crosby. He's a 0. So it's a 1-2 for a double play. It's a 4, so no double play, but they will get the force on Campaneris. And it's going to go 1-4 on the fielder's choice for out number 1. So Campy is piped off the bases, and here comes Reggie. He can tie the game with one swing of the bat, obviously. He's got that big 20 right there in the home run spot, if he can find the home run. He's going to have to get it off the ballpark most likely. Oh, there's a spot there for Eckersley for home runs, so it's possible. Strategy roll 19. You're certainly not having Reggie bunt. So Eckersley 1-5. That's a hit by pitch chance. He's a 3. Eckersley adds 7, makes it a 10. So he will plunk Reggie, and Reggie's not too happy about it. Reggie is not very happy about being plunked. And that will put the tying runs on base for Joe Rudi with only 1 out. So Eckersley, sure it wasn't intentional. You don't want to put base runners on. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Eckersley to Rudi. Rudi is flown to left and flown to center. 4-4. That's a strikeout chance. 13 is too much. So Rudi will get to swing and see what he can do with it. As I just dropped my white die, and now I got to figure out where it went. I'm actually the yellow die, way down here. Somehow that happened. I don't know how, but it did. So pregnant pause. I'll be waiting for Joe Rudi to take the swing. 2-5, and he's going to single past third base. It's going to load the bases. Bando does not have enough speed to score on that, so the bases are now loaded with only 1 out. And Billy Williams stepping to the plate. Tribe playing back for the double play. If they can get it. Nothing on the strategy. So Eckersley to Williams. 2-4. That's a blank versus a lefty. So Williams will get the swing. 3-5. He's going to fly to right. It could be a sacrifice fly. That is out number 2. His sacrifice fly rating is a 1. So that fails. Bando is a 3. Spikes is a +1 arm to make it a 4. 1-4, and it will still be a sac fly. And it will not. So Bando thought about it, but put on the brakes. Actually, yeah, that's out number 2. So I was thinking that was out number 3. It was only out number 2 because there was only 1 out. I'd moved that before I calculated the sacrifice fly. So that brings up Gene Tennis with 2 outs and the bases loaded. And nothing on the strategy roll. Tennis with a chance. He's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Time to make up for it right here. 1-1 is a range play. Infield is back because there's 2 outs, but it is a range play. 1-1 again. And against a right-hander, it's a fly to left. So we're checking the range of Mr. Berry. Mr. Ken Berry's range. His range is a 2. So this has to be a 1 or a 2. This could be a tie ball game pretty quickly. It's a 3. He cannot get to it, so we know that's going to turn a failed range play on an F7. Failed range play on an F7. Failed range play F7. And let's look at the chart. F7 turns into, let's see here. It's going to be a double. So it turns into a double to left field. So we know that the score is at least going to be tied. The question is, can Joe Rudi score from first? To score on a double to left off the Cleveland side is a -2. So Rudi is a 3, brings him down to a 1. There are 2 outs, makes him a 2. So 1-2, he will come in and score. He does. And since that's a 1, Tennis has a chance to move up to third. And he does. So Tennis will take third on the throw. It is a base-clearing double off the bat of Gene Tennis. Base-clearing double. He takes third on the throw, but 3 runs will score. And all of a sudden, the A's have broken through. 3 runs have scored. The A's take a 3-2 lead just that quickly. Just how fast can the game turn around? You just saw it right there. Off the bat of Gene Tennis, and that failed play by Ken Berry. He failed in his attempt to make that catch, and it turned into a double that cleared the bases. Tennis taking third on the throw. Eckersley has to shake this off. Nothing on the strategy. Here's Claudel. 1-3, and that's a straight-up home run chance against a left-hander. That's a 4. Claudel's an 8. That is long, and that is gone. And all of a sudden, Dennis Eckersley has just lost it. A 2-run home run from Claudel Washington. And just like that, the A's now put 5 on the board. And the Cleveland bullpen is going as fast as they can, but Eckersley is a little bit shell-shocked. 5 runs in the inning. He was 1 out away from getting out of everything, but Barry blew it by his failed range play. Eckersley now 1-6 strikeout chance will get him to end the inning, but damage well done by the A's. They score 5 runs, all earned on 3 hits because they had a hit by pitch and a walk in there. There were no errors. I'm sorry, there was a failed range play, but no error, and nobody left. So it wasn't technically an error, but then again it was because they failed on the range play. So Oakland profits in the 6th inning with a 5 spot to take a 5-2 lead on Eckersley and the Cleveland Indians, who sit stunned as the Oakland Coliseum crowd and Charlie Finley are happy. So we go to the top of the 7th, and the guy with new life is Ken Holtzman. Holtzman has faced 24 batters, so he's still okay. And, of course, the guy who leads off the inning is the guy who failed on the range play, Ken Berry. He's 1 for 2. He's going to try to start a rally. 1-4 is a possible error on a throw. 4-6, that's a single to short. Is there an error on a throw? No, it's a 19, so there's no error there. So just a base hit for Ken Berry. He's 2 for 3 offensively, but his defense, lack of defensive prowess is what cost him. Here's Crosby. Strategy roll still in place. 3, nothing's happening. Holtzman 1-5 against a lefty. That's a blank. We'll go to Crosby. 1-3 again is a fly to left, and that's 1 away. And so since we're in the 7th inning now, I can start thinking about possible pinch hitting and whatnot. I'd like to at least wait till the 7th for that. So I probably could have pinch hit for Crosby and put somebody else in, but on the bench for the Indians are all left-handed, so really no advantage there. 5-3, probably should have done a strategy roll, but we'll use the 4 as a strategy roll and say nothing happened. So 5-3 is an automatic out against Ashby, who's batting right-handed. That double star line is an automatic out. So let's see what kind of out it is. It's a 4, which is a ground ball to second, possible double play. He's a 3. They're halfway, makes it a 4. The pivot at short is Campaneris. He's a -1, makes it a 3. 1-3, it's a double play. It's a 6, so runner's going to advance automatically. The only play for Garner ended up being to first base. So 4-3 ground out for out number 2. Ashby is retired, and Buddy Bell back up with now 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Strategy roll, nothing happening. So Buddy Bell tripled, flew to right, and struck out. 4-2, that's a blank. We go to Buddy Bell. 2-1, and he's going to star line 6 it, which is a fly to left, put away out there by Mr. Manguel. And the inning is over. So Cleveland comes up empty here in the top of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time here at the Coliseum. Score remains Oakland 5, Cleveland 2. And now the question is, what do you do with Eckersley and what do you do with Holtzman? Holtzman now has faced 27 batters. He can face 2 more, so he should be actually faced 28 batters. He can face 1 more. So we'll see if they want to continue with him or go to maybe Raleigh Fingers to try to pitch the last 2 innings. We shall see. Eckersley can face 29. He's faced 26. So let's see who's coming up for Oakland. Garner, all right-handers, so they could be looking at Tom Buskey out of the bullpen. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to pull Eckersley and go with Tom Buskey, a right-hander. Decent pitcher, Tom Buskey. 5-3, 2.57 ERA and 7 saves, so no chump by any means. So Eckersley, final line on Eckersley, he's going to go 6 innings. He's going to give up 5 hits and 5 runs, all earned. And let's see, he walked 1, 2, and he walked 2 and he hit a batter. Struck out 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Struck out 8. But the 5 runs, that failed range play, is what doomed him. And now Tom Buskey is on for the bottom of the 7th. Phil Garner stepping to the plate. Against Mr. Buskey. 6-3 for Buskey's a strikeout chance, and he got him. So Buskey strikes out Garner to start the bottom of the 7th. One away, and that's going to flip the order to Campy. Campaneris struck out twice and walked. Buskey 2-5. That's a range play at Oakland Coliseum. So go to Oakland Coliseum for the range check. Oh, that's a Suidice. We'll re-roll that. 3-3, and that's a fly to right field, so we're checking Charlie Spikes for his range. Spikes is a range of 2 in right field, so not very good. He's 4 in left, but only a 2 in right, and that's kind of interesting. So this has to be a 1 or a 2. That's going to drop, and it will drop. Is it a single or a double? It's just a single, so Campaneris will get the 1-out single on another failed range play by the Cleveland outfield. And Campaneris, strategy rolls are still on, but nothing happening. So that's going to bring up Sal Bando, infield halfway for the double play. 3-2, and that's a strikeout chance. 4 will get him. So that's strikeout number 2 for Buskey. And now he's got to deal with Reggie. Now the question is, do you bring in a lefty to face Reggie, because that would lower his home run total from a 20 down to a 10, and his question mark would drop considerably too. But Buskey's a pretty good pitcher, so I think they're going to go ahead and stick with Mr. Buskey. Strategy roll for Campaneris, nothing happening. Buskey to Jackson. 1-1, and that's a blank to a lefty, so Jackson will get the swing. 3-2, and that is a star of 5, which is a fly to left to end the inning. So put away out there by Mr. Berry. So no runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the 8th. Cleveland running out of outs. It is 5-2 Oakland. And now the question is, does Ken Holtzman come back and start this 8th inning? They do have Raleigh Fingers in the bullpen ready to go if needed. Holtzman would be facing batter number 29 right here in McCraw, and I think since it's lefty on lefty, they will stick with Holtzman for now. But Fingers, if he gets in trouble, Fingers is ready to go. Holtzman 6-5, strikeout chance, got him. So McCraw is out of there. 1 down for George Hendrick. And now he is tired. So if we hit a parentheses roll, it's going to force him to exit immediately. 2-2. He just missed it. 2-1 would have been a tired roll, but 2-2 is a strikeout. He's an 11. Stadium adds 1, gives him a 12. So courtesy of Oakland Coliseum, he gets the strikeout. It was good for Eckersley. Now it's good for Mr. Holtzman. And he'll stay in there to face Frank Robinson. 1-4, possible error on the throw. 2-3 is a liner to short, so there's no throw necessary. That's going to end the inning. So Holtzman, a 1-2-3 inning. They may try to get a complete game out of him. I don't know. We'll wait and see. As Fingers thought he might be coming in, but not so fast, my friend. He's going to stay back. We go to the bottom of the 8th, still 5-2. And let's see who's coming up for Oakland. Jackson Williams in tennis. I'm sorry, Rudy Williams in tennis. 2 right-handers and a lefty. So they will stick with Mr. Buskey. He can face 6 batters. He has only faced 4, so he's not tired yet. So they'll leave him out there to face Joe Rudy. Although they do have Don Hood ready in the pen if needed. Buskey, 6-3, strikeout chance, 11's too high. We go to Rudy. 2-1, it's ground ball to second. Easy play there for Mr. Crosby, 1 away. Brings up the DH, Billy Williams. Buskey, 2-4, that's a home run question mark. 1-6 against the lefty, but that fails. No home run chance for Billy Williams. He will get the swing, though. 6-5. It's going to be a single to center field for Billy Williams. His first hit of the game. And he will be removed for a pinch runner. As Bill North will come in and pinch run and stay in the game to play DH. So Billy North will come in and pinch run. And he will be in there for Williams going forward. Billy North, the new DH. A little bit more speed. Certainly more youth. So strategy roll coming up. Gene Tennis, who had that big double, base clearing double last time. He's up there to... But Bill North has a strategy roll and nothing's happening. Actually, strategy rolls should be off now. My bad. The score being what it is, 3-run deficit with less than 2 innings left. Strategy rolls should be off. So Buskey will just pitch. Infield is halfway. 4-5 is a home run chance right off the bat. A straight up home run chance on a 4-5 right there. Tennis is a 16. That's a 9. And kaboom. Gene Tennis has done it again. What is this, 1972? He hits a 2-run bomb off of Buskey. And just like that, this game has been blown wide open. It is 7-2. So maybe we should have brought in Don Hood. It's going to be one batter too late. That's going to be it for Buskey. He is out of there. And they will turn to Don Hood. So the Indians are going to the Hood. Maybe a little bit too late. Probably a lot too late. Buskey's going to go 1 1/3 innings. He's going to give up 3 hits and 2 runs. No walks and a strikeout. And Hood will be your pitcher. 6-3, and that's back to the ballpark card again for Oakland Coliseum. 3-6, and that's ground ball to second. So out number 2 as Claudel is retired for Angel Mangual. 2 down, bases empty for Mangual, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Hood, 2-6, walk here, 17, nope, too high. Go to Mangual, or Manguel, however you want to pronounce it. 6-4, that's a single. So Angel Mangual gets his first hit of the game. It's a 2-out single. And that brings up the scrap iron, Phil Garner. Garner, 1 for 3 with a double. 1-3 is a strikeout chance. 11's not going to be too high. Go to Garner. 5-1. It's a star 5, which is a ground ball to short, and they'll just throw to first the easy way to make the final out. But for the A's, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the 9th. A's comfortably in front, 7-2. And now, what do you do with Holtzman? Do you let him try for the complete game? I don't see why you wouldn't. Raleigh Fingers has long since sat down because of the score being what it is. But they do have right-hander Jim Todd loosening in the bullpen just in case Mr. Holtzman hits that fatigue where he has to be pulled. That's the only thing that would take him out right now. With a 7-2 game, it's going to be Charlie Spikes to lead it off. Spikes, 1 for 3, was caught stealing. 4-1, and he just hit the tire roll. That's a single, so he's got to come out. That's the rule. That's a single, and he's got to be relieved now at this point. So Jim Todd will be coming on to pitch in relief. Holtzman's going to go 8+, give up 2 runs. Only 1 of which was earned. Let's see, giving up a total of 6 hits. I've got him 4. He walked, looks like he's walked 2. He walked Robinson and walked Ashby. So 2 walks, and let's check his strikeouts. Not that many. 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts. I got him 4 unofficially. So that's going to be it for Holtzman. He hit his fatigue roll, that parentheses roll, which means he should play by that rule, which I like to use. That means he's exhausted and has to come out. So Jim Todd for the A's will be coming on. If it was a closer game, obviously you'd have Fingers in there, but they're going to go with Todd. And Frank Duffy is your scheduled hitter, but we got lots of lefties on the bench that the Indians could be calling upon, and they're going to call on one right now. And that's going to be, well, let's see, make sure if we take Duffy out, we can move Crosby to short. And can they have somebody play second? So we got to figure out, before we haphazardly pinch hit, we got to make sure we have backups that can play these different positions. Well, I guess when you're down this much, it really doesn't matter. You just want offense. So Rick Manning is going to pinch hit right here. Rick Manning will pinch hit for Duffy, as Frank Robinson's trying to pull out all the stops. Rick Manning. We'll figure out defense later if it gets to that. If they can score 5 runs this inning, they won't. They'll put somebody out of position. They don't care. So at this point, tied to Manning. 5-1, double question mark against a lefty. It's a 1-12. That's a 17. It's out of range. So we go to Manning's card. 2-4, and that's a question mark 9. Goes up to a 15 against righties. That's a 20 though. So just a bad break there for Rick Manning. That D20 cost him. That is out number 1. Due up now is Ken Berry. He will be called back, and Oscar Gamble will pinch hit for him. So Oscar Gamble will pinch hit for Ken Berry. Todd, 3-5. That is a possible error. Go to Gamble. 1-3 is a liner to second, and I don't believe there's any error chances on the line drive to second, but I will double check it. I think there's no failed error chances on the line drive to second. There is not, but there is a double play chance because you got to run on first. When you line it to second with a runner on first, a 1 or a 2, and it's a double play to end the ball game. It does not. So Spikes got back just in time for out number 2. Now Crosby will have to stay in the game because they have nobody to play any other positions if they don't use Crosby. So they're kind of stuck using Crosby. 4-2, and that's a home run question mark. Crosby's a lefty, so that's a 1-10, but that fails, and Crosby couldn't hit a home run anyway. Crosby will swing 2-4. It's a star 5, and that is a ground ball to third. Sal Bando will throw it to first, and there is your ball game. So it looked like Cleveland was in control 2-0 with Eckersley on the mound, but then that failed range play by Ed Crosby changed the whole game. Changed everything. Player of the game, Mr. Gene Tennis. Gene Tennis. He is undoubtedly the player of the game. Base clearing double and a home run. So a 2-run homer and a base clearing double. 2 for 4, double home run, 2 runs scored, and 5 runs driven in. He drove in all 5 runs. So easy call there. Actually, I meant to put 2 here in the 8th. That should have been a 2 spot on Claudell's home run. So it was actually not 5-2. It's 7-2. I messed that up, didn't I? It was actually a 2-run home run from Claudell. That was also in the 6th, and the 2-run homer by Tennis was in the 8th. So I messed that up, but hopefully I fixed it now. So 7-2, your final score. Let's see. There was 1 error on Oakland. None on Cleveland, but the failed range play kind of might as well have been an error. Total hits, Cleveland had 7, and Oakland had 3, 6, 9 unofficially. So that's what I got unofficially. Oakland defeating Cleveland 7-2. 7 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Oakland. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Cleveland. Winning pitcher was left-hander Ken Holtzman. Losing pitcher was Dennis Eckersley. Of course, with a 7-2 score, there was no save. And Gene Tennis driving in 5 of the 7 runs is your player of the game. And for anybody that came in late, next week's game will come from Memorial Stadium. It'll be the Kansas City Royals against the Baltimore Orioles next Saturday on the NBC Game of the Week. Tomorrow night, a pre-recorded version of the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball and Replay Baseball 1993. Chicago Cubs against the Montreal Expos will be that game. And then most likely on either Monday or Tuesday night, it will be the Kansas City Royals again in 2022 hosting the New York Yankees in payoff pitch as we start that 3-game series between the Royals and the Yankees. 2 left-handers on the mound, Nestor Cortez for the Yankees and Chris Bubich for the Royals. That'll be the pitching matchup in that one. So I do appreciate everybody who came in and spent some time in your Saturday with me. Fun game. Unfortunately, it got a blowout at the end, but it was really good there for about 6 or 7 innings. But that can happen. That's the thing with inside pitch. You never know what's going to happen. You think you had a close game, turns to a blowout. You think you got one team's going to win, then the other team comes back to win. So no 9th inning magic per se in this one, but definitely 6th inning magic for the A's. So I've got some honeydew stuff to take care of and fulfill my Saturday responsibilities. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, how you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.